let's talk about the sales process that you see directly in the CRM, how you've kind of built out the sequences. All right, guys, now that we are in the office, we really need to start rolling out the systems and processes so that we get the right people in the right seats, right? Now we have the real estate investment side almost on autopilot, right? We got some rock star closers. We have our bird dogs, prospectors. Our sales team is really intact. We do have to fill a small transaction coordination position, but that's going to roll out in time. Really key topic for the acquisition side is going to be conversions, right? So really setting up our conversions internally, right? And then also systematizing so we can help newer investors get in the game as well. We want to put each lead that comes into the system is going to fall into its own individual bucket, right? We need to understand the sales process like the funnel that it is, right? We have all these different leads that are pouring out into the CRM, right? We got Facebook. We have Google organic, pay-per-click, direct mail. We have our cold call leads. And we have SMS, right? A couple others too. People do bandit signs and stuff, but these are really the core models for our business, right? Our way of doing business. Every single lead is funneling, it's going through our sales funnel, and it needs to fall into one of three buckets, right? We have our hot leads, our warm leads, and our cold leads, right? Every single lead that comes into the pipeline needs to be assigned to one of these three buckets. Hot leads are going to be about 20% of our deals. That's what we would consider low-hanging fruit, right? Those are the sellers that we get on the phone and they're like, hey, yes, I need to sell my house like yesterday, right? They're raising their hand, ready to go. Let's send them a contract, right? We love those deals, right? Those are the super easy ones that, oh, seller's ready to go. Boom, down in the profit. But what we really want to focus on is the 80% that are still sitting in our pipeline, right? This is known as the 80-20 principle. It can be translated to just about any area of life. If you think about the roads, for example. 20% of the roads are going to get 80% of the traffic, right? You go to a wedding or a private event somewhere, 20% of the guests are going to eat 80% of the food. It's true. It's really a proven principle, right? And it can be translated to just about any area of life. But for us, right, we understand that 20% of our deals, our conversions, that low-hanging fruit, right, we need to focus on the other 80. We need to focus on that long-term follow-up, right? They say from lead to conversion or lead to contract, it takes at least 5 to 7 touches. And you guys as the acquisitions team know that, right? Of course. Mm-hmm. So really figuring out how to do that. One, we're creating drip sequences. So built into the CRM, right, it automatically sends a text message follow-up after getting off the phone call. Right, as soon as the lead comes into the funnel. And then they're getting in touch with an email campaign, and then a voicemail drop, and then it just cycles through, right? So these sellers are continuing to get hit weeks and months down the line, right? So that system's baked into our process. But on the acquisition side, it's also our role to make sure we're constantly in front of them and we're building that personal relationship, right? Because people want to do business with people that they like and they trust, right? That's the key. So our goal here, guys, is to really work on this conversion. And as you can imagine, that's gonna help our bottom line dollar, right? And cold leads, I always talk about cold leads, guys. Every lead gets a name. Every lead's gonna fall into one bucket, right? They need to be touched. With cold leads, we have some agents on the team, right? We have 2 agents that are within the fold who we can also, not directly, but we collect a small benefit from that as well, right? So the cold leads, if they want to sell their house retail, or I would say if they're not quite ready, obviously that fits in the warm bucket, right? But in your sales process, we need to identify upfront, what is the motivation level? Is it hot, warm, or cold? And the cold ones, we just want to warm them back up a little bit. And if they're not willing to sell their house at a discount, well, guess what? We have some of the best real estate agents in the area. If you're looking to maximize your equity position, and the house is fixed up and ready to list on the market, we have some really great agents that can help you with that, right? So just trying to warm them up, because that's just more fuel to that engine, right? We're really trying to wrap that up.
Just trying to monetize every single lead that comes in.
Exactly.
Just figuring out the way to do that.
Yeah. So let's talk about the sales process that you see directly in the CRM, how you've kind of built out the sequences, and how we're looking to really ramp that up so we're getting more personal touches.
So basically in the CRM, the one that we use, realestateinvestor.com, they have heartbeats. So basically any task, whether it's an inbound call from a lead we spoke with, text response, any marketing, it'll come back into your task list. So each day we come in, we try to clear out. Our main goal is to clear out our task list and heartbeats each day. And from that, when you have those conversations, if you need to follow up, of course, that's great. Just create a new task. It'll remind you. So it takes that effort away from you. It just keeps things automated. So we talk to the people that we need to, who are warm and close to that decision point. So that's really helped us, kind of maximize how many contracts we can bring in each month. So that's what we've been doing mainly.
Love it. So that brings us to our next focus point, right? And that's really building out the virtual deal finders and our driving for dollars team, right? So our goal in rolling out this new membership and training opportunity that we're going to open up for investors here in the Midlands is to equip them with the tools they need to win, right? One, we're looking to build more bird dogs internally, right? People that want to come in under our wings and really start working with the organization. We can give them the tools and strategies that they need, help us all become more beneficial, right? Okay, that brings us into our next focus point. We really want to start building more JV relationships, right? JV relationships are huge because it gives us an opportunity to build more relationships with local investors, newer wholesalers, people that are looking to get in the game, right? There's tons of value when it comes to JV relationships. I know there's some local dispositions companies. In fact, it's a big thing that, people are really building out that side of the business. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, there's pretty decent companies that are good at selling contracts, right? That's great. It's a value add, right? But I feel like we're missing a gap in that process. Some of these newer investors and wholesalers, they might get a quick grab, right? But there's not continued follow-up and there's not continued education where we can nourish that relationship.